Welcome, men and women, to this edition of My Africa Trending. Today, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room. What is it? Not so much of an elephant now, but it is the coronavirus. Coronavirus, because it's going to hit Africa sooner or later, whether we like it or not. So we need to be prepared. We need to keep an eye out for it. As you know, there was a case in Lagos, Nigeria. There is a case in Lagos, Nigeria. An Italian man traveled into Lagos. He works there. Later on, was identified to have the coronavirus. That's the first case. There are bound to be other cases from that, I reckon. Now, there are other African countries, Algeria as well as Egypt, that has had a number of cases. Now, so far, fingers crossed, we've been so lucky. Now, before we continue, shout out to our brothers and sisters, lots of African students and others in China, Wuhan, wherever they are, feel trapped. They feel like our government's not doing enough to support them and or to bring them out of, evacuate them out of there. So there's all these things going around them. It's pretty hard. So shout out to them. We remember them in our prayers. Now the coronavirus, what is it? What's in the name? COVID-19. So how do they name these viruses? It's sort of similar to the name HIV, causing AIDS. So this one is a mouthful. Severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV-2, codename COVID-19. CoV in the codename means coronavirus. 19 is a year which it was identified, which is only last year in December, as you remember. Now it's a family of coronavirus. There's a family of coronaviruses, as you remember. SARS in 2003, it's the same family. These viruses, like this, they cause respiratory syndromes, respiratory illness. Now, they are zoonotic. That means they are in animals, but at some point they can transmit. They're able to transmit from animals to humans. So when that happens, it's always a serious problem because we don't have immunity to these things. Our body does not recognize these things. So that's why we panic about these things. That's why people die. That's why the World Health Organization is always onto this sort of thing. So as we can see now, that's what's happening. Now, by the time they develop vaccines, it's after a while because they have to test them, everything else. So it's a very, very serious issue. Signs of the illness of the coronavirus, as you know, the fever, shortness of breath, coughing. The more severe symptoms are the pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, rhinopharia, and causing death. So as you can see that it's a multi-system organ failure, as we can see in the pictures, in the videos of people on TV in intensive care unit and with specialist care. That's what it requires for that supportive care. So as well as at the national level, we have seen cities in lockdown and quarantine and all these travel restrictions. Now it's going to hit in Africa. Now, I know we Africans, brothers and sisters, we don't like to follow the rules and regulations. What our government says, we do exactly the exact opposite. Now, but when it comes to these, make no mistake about it, it's going to come to us, but we need to listen to our governments, follow the instructions. If they say, let us go into lockdown, let us do that. 2 weeks, let's go out there, get some supplies to last us for 2 weeks. And the government also will do their part, do this. Now, the way we live, we love living together. We just like it. We just live together. Disorganized societies, and our health systems are pretty weak as well. So that's just the way we roll. But these are really perfect conditions for this virus to go around. So that is why there's a big concern when it comes to our shores, when it comes to Africa. So the World Health Organization, they're trying to keep African countries with diagnostic laboratory equipment so that we can diagnose these viruses and hopefully do something about it. So anyway, that's all. We'll keep you updated. Now, before we go, let us just look at the death toll now, at the statistics. The latest is about 90,000. Over 90,000 now infected people all over and over 3,000 have died. So it's a real serious disease, illness. So let us just keep an eye out and start the preparations now. Now, as usual, stay classy forever.